So hello students, I'm Sai Baba here. So in the previous class I have shown you the first set of questions in the assignment in thermodynamics. That is, I have shown the questions 1 to 30 in the assignment in thermodynamics. So in this class I would like to start the discussion of the questions in the assignment in thermodynamics. So look at the first question again. So this is a purely theory based question which we have discussed in the theory part. That is the zeroth law of thermodynamics corresponds to existence of temperature of the body. So for question number 1, fourth option is the answer. So next you look at the question number 2. A 10 kilowatt drilling machine is used to drill a bore in a small metal block of mass 8 kg. How much is the rise of temperature in 2.5 minutes, assuming 50% of the power is used up in heating the machine itself and lost to surroundings? Specific heat of metal is 0.75 joule per gram per Kelvin. So in a SI system, the specific heat has to be expressed joule per kg. So here we are given specific heat as 0.75 joule per gram per Kelvin. So we can write 1 gram equal to 10 power minus 3 kg. So in a SI system, the specific heat therefore can be written as 0.75 into 10 cube joule per kg per Kelvin. Now we can observe that, you can write that heat absorbed. So heat energy used to increase the temperature of the metal block is only 50% of the energy delivered by the mission. That means only 50% of the energy used by the mission is used for drilling the block. Other 50% is absorbed by the block and the form of heat energy. So this is well expressed in joules in a SI system. Energy used is also in by mission is also in joules. Heat of the energy absorbed by the block is equal to mass of the block into specific heat of the block into rise in temperature of the block. That is 50 by 100 times the energy used by the mission is equal to power into time. P is the power here. So you can take mass of the block as given to be 8 kg here on the left hand side. The specific heat of the block we have written 0.75 into 10 cube joule per kg per degree Kelvin. Rise in temperature you have to find 50 by 100 into power is 10 kilowatts, means 10 into 10 cube watt in SI units. Time is 2.5 minutes, or 2.5 into 60 seconds in a SI system. The time must be in seconds. So those who want to copy the solution of the problem, please take a pause and copy the solution of the problem and complete the calculation part. You can cancel 10 cube both sides. And remaining factors, you can try to simplify it yourself. So increase in temperature on Kelvin scale will be numerically same as the increase in temperature on the centigrade scale. The increase in temperature on Kelvin scale will be numerically same as the increase in temperature on centigrade scale. Suppose the increase in temperature on Kelvin scale is 125 Kelvin, then increase in temperature centigrade scale will also be 125 degrees centigrade. So for question number 2, third option will be the answer. I think I already have shown you the key. So next you see the question number 5. A 500 watt heater is immersed in a pot containing 2 liters of water at 20 degrees centigrade. If only 80% of heat absorbed, heat produced by heater is absorbed by water, then the time taken minutes to reach the boiling point of water. So J is given as 4.2 joule per calorie. So when mechanical equivalent of heat is given as 4.2 joule per calorie, specific heat of water, in CGS system we write it as 1 calorie per gram per degree centigrade. So in a SI system with 1 calorie, you can write 4.2 joules. And 1 gram equal 10 power minus 3 kg. So you can write 4.2 into 10 cube joule per kg per degree centigrade. So heat absorbed by water expressed in joule is 80% of, that means 80 by 100 times heat produced by heater. Which is also expressed in joules. So heat absorbed by water can be written as mass of the water into specific heat of water and increase in the temperature denoted by delta capital T. Heat produced by, that is 80%, that means 80 by 100 of heat produced by heater equal to power of the heater into time. So 2 liters of water, mass of water is equal to volume of water into density of water. The mass of water is 2 liters, volume of water 2 liters means 2 into 10 power minus 3 cubic meter. Density of water in SI system is 2 to 10 power 3 kg per cubic meter. So you get mass of the water in the pot to be 2 kg. So you substitute M equal to 2 kg here. Specific heat of water 4.10 cube joule per kg per degree. And boiling point, you have to heat the water up to boiling point. So usually boiling point of pure water is taken as 100 degrees centigrade at atmospheric pressure. So increase in temperature is equal to final temperature minus initial temperature. Final temperature should be taken as boiling point. Initial temperature was 20 degrees centigrade. So that will be 80 degrees centigrade. Of course, on Kelvin scale, it will be 80 Kelvin. Substitute all these values here. So on the left hand side, M equal to 2 kg. Specific heat of water is 4.2 in 10 cube. Delta T is 80. degree centigrade or Kelvin. So this ms delta T will be joules. Right hand side, 80 by 100 times power of the heater. Heat produced by the heater, you can write power into time. So the power of the heater is 500 watts into time T. So if you simplify this, you get the time T seconds. You can cancel heater count factor. Come on, take a pause. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. First, you get the time in seconds. You have to convert the time in minutes. Dividing with 1 minute, you can take 60 seconds. Come on, take a pause and complete copying the solution of the problem. So for question number 3, which I just discussed, the first option is answer, I think. Then you see the next question, question number 4. Lead bullet penetrates into a solid object and melts. Assuming that 50% of its kinetic energy was used to heat it. Calculate the initial speed of the bullet. The initial temperature of the bullet is 27 degrees centigrade and its melting point is 327 degrees centigrade. Latent heat of fusion of lead equal to 2.5 in 10 power 4 joule per kg. And specific heat capacity of lead equal to 125 joule per kg per Kelvin. So here the specific heats and latent heat, specific heat and latent heat are expressed in SI units. So heat absorbed by bullet can be taken as 50% of kinetic energy lost by the bullet. So the temperature you have to find the minimum initial speed of the bullet required so that the bullet just melts when it is stopped. So to just melt the bullet, the temperature of the bullet first must be increased from 27 degrees centigrade to 327 degrees centigrade. So heat absorbed by bullet expressed in joules, 50% of kinetic energy lost, that 50 by 100 times the kinetic energy lost by bullet. Heat absorbed by bullet is equal to mass of the bullet into specific heat of bullet into increase in the temperature of the bullet plus heat absorbed during melting is METL. That is heat absorbed by bullet is sum of two terms. The first term is the heat absorbed when the temperature of the bullet rises from 27 degrees centigrade to the melting point 327 degrees centigrade. So heat energy absorbed with solid when its temperature increases before change of state begins. Again by mass into specific heat and rise in temperature. I mean order specific and rise in temperature. Then further heat energy absorbed by the bullet during melting process. When the solid, lead bullet at its melting point at 327 degrees changes into liquid at same temperature is METL. There is the latent heat of fusion of the lead. Kinetic energy lost by the bullet when it is suddenly stopped. 50 by 100 times kinetic energy lost by bullet when it is suddenly stopped is equal to the initial kinetic bullet, that is equal to half mu square. So you can find the initial speed of the bullet from this. You can take m common outside on the left hand side. M into S delta T plus L is equal to half into half or 1 by 4 or half square into U square. So of course all units we have expressed in a SI system here. Therefore you will get 2 into root of m gets cancelled both sides. 2 into root of L plus S into delta T. Provide all values in SI system. Of course, increase in temperature on SI system, Kelvin is numerically same as increase in temperature in centigrade. 327 minus 27 Kelvin. Or we can say 300 degrees centigrade is the increase in temperature on centigrade scale. So increase in temperature on Kelvin scale will also be 300 Kelvin. Those who want to copy the solution to the problem, please take a pause and finish copying the solution to the problem. You can try to complete the calculation part yourself. So if you want to copy the calculation part also, you can take a pause and copy this calculation part also, simplification. So you get the answer as 500 meter per second. So for question number 4, which I have just discussed, second option will be the answer. Then you see the question number 5. The gas is heated at constant volume by 70 degrees centigrade, absorbs 200 joules. When it is heated at constant pressure to same rise in temperature, it absorbs 300 joules. The change in energy and work done by the gas respectively are in second case. So we can observe that change in rise in temperature is same in both the cases. So for a fixed mass of an ideal gas with a given atomicity, change in energy of the gas is independent of the method or process used to change the temperature. So change in energy will be same in both the cases, which is of course given by nu CV delta T. So change in energy of the gas in first case, same as change in energy of the gas second case. Or you can apply first law of thermodynamics in each case. So delta Q is equal to delta U plus W. Delta Q is the heat energy absorbed by the gas, delta U is the change in energy of the gas, and delta W is the work done by the gas. So in the first case, volume is constant. When volume is constant, work done is 0. Heat energy absorbed in the first case is given to be 200 joules. That is delta Q is 200 joules. That means change in energy of the gas in the first case, same as the heat energy absorbed by the gas when it is heated at constant volume, 200 joules. So it is given in the problem that increase in the temperature of the gas is same in both the cases. For a fixed mass of an ideal gas, the change in energy will be the same in both the cases if change in the temperature is the same. General के change in energy is given by nu CV delta T. Number of moles of the gas and molar specificity at constant volume is a constant. Same for given gas in both the cases. So change in energy of the gas, second case will be same as change in energy of the gas, the first case, for same change in temperature. Second case also can take change in energy as 200 also. And it is given that heat energy absorbed by the gas. And second case is 300 joules. So you have to find work done. So again apply the first law of thermodynamics. Delta Q is equal to delta U plus W, or you can write delta W, whatever notation you follow. So this is 300 joules and delta U is 200 joules. Therefore work done by the gas in the second case will be 300 minus 200 joules per 100 joules. So if you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy the working. So here for the question which I just discussed now, the change in energy in the second case is 200 joules and work done is 100 joules. That is first option is the answer. Then look at the question number 6. 1 mole of an ideal gas required 207 joules heat to rise its temperature by 10 Kelvin when heated at constant pressure. Same gas is heated at constant volume to rise the temperature by same 10 Kelvin. The heat required will be, the gas constant is given. So in the first case, pressure is constant. The gas is heated at constant pressure. The heat energy absorbed by the gas is given by nu Cp delta T. The Cp, the molar specific heat of the gas at constant pressure. Nu is the quantity of gas expressed in mole. Delta T is the increase in the pressure. Delta Q in the first case is given to be 207 joules. Nu is the quantity of gas in mole is 1 mole. Rise in temperature is 10 Kelvin. Therefore, you can write molar specific heat of the gas at constant pressure 20.7 joule per mole per Kelvin. So in the second case, the gas is heated at constant volume. So to calculate the heat energy absorbed by the gas, when it is heated at constant volume, we have to find the molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume. So the difference in the molar specific heat at gas at constant pressure and molar specific heat at constant volume for any ideal gas is same as the molar gas constant. So molar gas constant is given the problem. Therefore, we can write molar specific heat at constant volume, molar specific heat at constant pressure minus R. That will be 20.7 minus 8.3 joule per mole per Kelvin. So that will be 12.4 joule per mole per Kelvin. So in the second case, the gas is heated at constant volume. So heat energy absorbed by the gas at constant volume is given by nu Cv delta T. For same mass of same gas, number of moles is same in both the cases, which is equal to 1 mole. So molar specific at constant volume is 12.4 joule per mole per Kelvin. Increase in the temperature is given to be the same 10 Kelvin in both the cases. Therefore, in second case, it will be 124 joules. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 6, fourth option is the answer. Then look at the question number 7. When a monatomic gas expands at constant pressure, the percentage of heat supplied that increases the temperature of the gas. And in doing external work in expansion at constant pressure is. So the change in energy of fixed mass of a gas in any process is given by the same formula. Delta U is equal to nu Cv delta T. So when the gas is heated at constant pressure, the heat energy absorbed by the gas, you can write nu Cp delta T. Cp is the molar specific heat of the gas at constant pressure. Delta T is the increase in the temperature of the gas. And nu is the number of moles of the gas and delta T is rise in temperature. So change in energy of fixed mass of gas in any process given by the same formula, delta U equal to nu Cv delta T. So ratio of delta Q by delta U at constant pressure will be Cp by Cv, which is equal to gamma. So gamma for a monatomic gas is 5/3. So for a monatomic gas, the value of gamma is 5/3. That means delta Q by delta U. I mean when the monatomic gas is heated at constant pressure will be 5/3. So change in the internal energy of the gas with 3 by 5 times delta Q. So the amount of heat which is used to increase the temperature of the gas means it represents the change in internal energy of the gas. The change in the internal energy of the gas indicates that the heat utilized for rising the temperature of the gas. 3 by 5 is 0.6 times delta Q. That means that is 60 by 100, or you can write 60% of delta Q. That means 60% of the heat energy supplied to the gas is utilized for increasing the internal energy of the gas. Or you can say 60% of the heat energy supplied to the gas is utilized for rising the temperature of the gas. So the remaining heat is used for doing the work. The remaining percentage will 100% minus 60% will be 40%. Or from first law of thermodynamics you can write delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. So delta W, which represents the amount of work done by the gas, is equal to delta Q minus delta U. Here delta U is 3 by 5 times delta Q. So work done by the gas during the expansion, external work done, 2 by 5 times delta Q. Or you can say delta W is 0.4 times delta Q. Or 40 by 100 times delta Q. Or you can say the external work done by the gas during the expansion is 40% of the heat energy absorbed by the gas. That means 40% of the heat energy supplied to the gas is utilized for doing the work. 60% of the heat supplied is used to increase the temperature of gas, that is to increase the internal energy of the gas. So those who want to copy the solution of the problem, they can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 7, which I have just discussed now, second option will be the answer. Then see the question number 8. In a thermodynamic process, the pressure of a fixed mass of a gas is changed. So in this process, gas releases 20 joules of heat and 8 joules of work is done on the gas. If initial internal energy of the gas was 30 joules, then final internal energy is. So here you can apply the first law of thermodynamics. When heat energy from first law of thermodynamics, you can write delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. Delta Q represents the heat energy absorbed by the gas, which is taken as positive when heat energy is gained by the gas. Delta Q should be taken negative when heat energy lost by the gas. Delta W represents the external work done by the gas. Delta W will be positive when positive work is done by the gas. When positive work is done on the gas, then delta W, that is work done by the gas, should be taken negative. So here in this problem, the delta 20 joules of heat energy is lost by the gas. So delta Q can be written as minus 20 joules. And 8 joules of work is done on the gas. So when work is done on the gas, delta W will be negative. So delta W represents the work done by the gas. That is minus 8 joules. You can substitute these values in the first law of thermodynamics. The equation for first law of thermodynamics. Therefore, minus 20 joules is equal to delta U plus minus 8 joules. This can be simplified to calculate the change in the internal energy of the gas. So you get change in the internal energy of the gas as minus 12 joules. That means internal energy of the gas decreases by 12 joules. Delta U can be written as UF minus UI. Here U subscript I represent the internal of the gas in the initial state, which is given to be 30 joules. U subscript F represents the internal of the gas in the final state, which you have to find out. So this can be further simplified to get the answer. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. You get internal gas in the final state as 18 joules. That's the answer. So for question number 8, which I have just discussed, third option will be the answer. Look at the question number 9. The next question. The gas under constant pressure of 4.5 in 10 power 5 Pascal, when subjected to 800 kilojoules of heat, changes the volume from 0.5 cubic meter to 2 cubic meter. Change under the gas. Here also we can calculate the work done by the gas first to apply the first law of thermodynamics. So what is given is the heat energy supplied to the gas directly. 800 kilojoules, or we can say 800 in 10 cube joules. So change in the volume of the gas means final volume from minus initial volume. That is 2 minus 0.5 cubic meter or 1.5 cubic meter. The pressure of the gas is constant. At 4.5 into 10 power 5 Pascal. So we have expressed all units in SI system. Change the value of the gas to 1.5 cubic meter. So the gas is heated at constant pressure. The work done by the gas, which you can write W or delta W, at constant pressure is given by P delta V. So that is 4.5 into 10 power 5 Pascal into 1.5 cubic meter. So it will be joules. So that will be 45 into 15 kilojoules. So from first law of thermodynamics, we can write delta Q is equal to delta U plus W or delta W. So change in energy delta U can be written as, so delta Q minus W. So delta Q is directly given 800 kilojoules. The work done is 675 kilojoules by the gas. So change in the internal of the gas will be equal to 125 kilojoules. That means internal of the gas increases by 125 kilojoules because delta U is positive when the internal of the gas changes or increases. So those who want to copy the solution, take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for the question number 9, for which I have discussed just now, fourth option will be the answer. Then see the question number 10. If 3 moles of gas required 60 calories of heat for 5 degrees centigrade rise of temperature at constant volume, then heat required for 5 moles of same gas under constant pressure for 10 degrees centigrade rise of temperature is R equal to 2 calorie per mole per Kelvin. So in the first case, the gas is heated at constant volume. So when the gas is heated at constant volume, the heat energy absorbed by the gas as I discussed earlier, is given by nu CV delta T, where nu is the number of moles of the gas, CV the molar specific heat constant volume. Delta T is rise in temperature. So it is given that 60 calories of heat is absorbed by the gas in the first case. And number of moles in the first case, nu is 3 moles. And delta T is increase in temperature gas will be same whether you express in degree Kelvin or degree centigrade. Can take 5 degree centigrade or 5 Kelvin. So molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume. You can try to simplify this. If you simplify this, you get 4 calorie per mole per Kelvin. In the second case, the gas is heated at constant pressure. The heat energy absorbed by the gas, in the second case, when it is heated at constant pressure, is given by nu Cp delta T, where Cp is the molar specific heat of the gas at constant pressure. So you are given the molar gas constant Kepler, so you have to find the molar specific heat at constant pressure. For any gas, molar specific heat at constant pressure minus molar specific heat at constant volume will be equal to the molar gas constant. So molar specific heat at constant pressure can be done molar specific heat at constant volume plus molar gas constant. CV is 4 calorie per mole per Kelvin. Molar gas constant is 2 calorie per mole per Kelvin. So you get molar specific heat at constant pressure as 6 calorie per mole per Kelvin. So you can substitute in the second case, number of moles is different. 5 moles here. And Cp equals 6 calorie per mole per Kelvin. And rise in temperature in second case is 10 degree centigrade. Or rise in temperature on Kelvin scale is same as, numerically same as rise in temperature on centigrade scale, which you can write 10 Kelvin. So this has to be simplified here further. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 10, which I have just discussed now, fourth option will be the answer. Then see the question number 11. This question was given one of the very old IIT papers, I think 1984 IIT or so. But same standard questions can be expected now in the other lower level exams, even in local entrance exams, or even in IIT mains. Sometimes how the old IIT model questions are repeated. So okay, look at the question number 11. An ideal gas has specific heat. That means we are given molar specific heat constant here, 5R/2, and kept in a closed vessel of volume 83 10 power minus 4 cubic meter at a temperature of 300 Kelvin, pressure of 1.6 and 10 power 6 Newton per meter square. You are given an amount of heat absorbed, an amount of 2.49 and 10 power 4 joule of heat energy supplied to the gas, the final temperature. To find the final temperature of gas, you have to find the delta T, change in the temperature of gas. You are given the initial temperature. And it is given that the gas is contained in a closed vessel of fixed volume. That means the volume of the gas is constant. So when the gas is heated at constant volume, heat energy absorbed with the gas at constant volume is given by nu Cp delta T. So you are given delta Q at constant volume. So to find delta T, that is change in temperature, you have to know the number of moles of the gas, and you have to find first molar specific heat at constant volume, because the gas is heated here at constant volume. So for any gas, molar specific heat at constant pressure molar specific constant volume is equal to molar gas constant. So molar specific constant volume, we can write Cp minus R. Cp is given to 5R by 2. Therefore, you get molar specific constant volume will be equal to 3R by 2. Next, you have to find the number of moles of the gas. You are given the pressure, volume, temperature in the initial conditions. So you can use the Peyrovet gas equation to find number of moles of the gas. So in the initial state, using the Peyrovet gas equation, P1V equal to nu R T1. P1 is the initial pressure of the gas, T1 is the initial temperature of the gas, V is the volume of the gas which is constant, which is same as the volume of the vessel. Nu is the number of moles of gas. So the number of moles of the gas can write P1V by RT1. Now when the gas is heated at constant volume, the heat energy absorbed by the gas is given by nu Cv delta T. So nu can be written as P1V by R T1. Cv is equal to 3R by 2 into delta T. You can observe that the molar gas constant delta R will get cancelled here. You can substitute all the given values and find delta T. Those who want to copy the working, please take a pause and finish copy the working. So left hand side you can substitute delta Q equal to 2.4 in 10 power 4 joules. The right hand side P1 equal to 1.6 in 10 power 6 Newton per meter square. T1 is the initial temperature 300 Kelvin. The volume of the gas is same as the volume of the vessel, that is 83 into 10 power minus 4 cubic meter into 3 by 2 into delta T. You can take a pause and please finish copying the working. You can observe that 83 into 3 will be 249. So 83, 8.3 into 3 will be 24.9, which you can cancel here 10 times. You can do the simplification part to yourself. Please take a pause and finish copying the solution and also complete the calculation part. So after calculating the change in the temperature of the gas, you can write delta T as final temperature of the gas, T denoted by T2 minus initial temperature. So final temperature you can write initial temperature plus delta T. So you might have already calculated the value of T1 before. I mean T1 is given to be 300 Kelvin. Delta T you might have calculated. Add change in temperature to the initial temperature. You get the final temperature on Kelvin scale. You must be knowing how to convert the temperature from Kelvin scale to centigrade scale. So for the question number 11, which I have just discussed, second option will be the answer. You can check up the calculation.